Welcome. Appreciate everybody being here today. Judge Newsom says it's 2 o'clock, so I'm supposed to start. So I want to comply, not be in trouble with the judge. We appreciate all of you taking time to be here today. It's turned out to be a beautiful day, and we are pleased with that. I just want to take a minute to thank a lot of people, thank the city and all their work in bringing this day to realization. A lot of people have put a lot of time and work into this. I want to thank Jerry Lee and his design and work that you're about to see. Thank John for the idea that originally was John's, and just appreciate the library, Hope Kane, and the library, and all the support we're getting from them. The idea of the library is really something that we wanted to honor our mom with. Our mom was a very devoted reader, and she instilled that in us at an early age. I've told some of you that I can recall when I was young, we would go into to the library, which was over here then, the Carnegie Library, and we would check out books, 20 books sometimes at a time, and go home to a little room that had a small air conditioning in it because we didn't have central air, and we would read in the summer and read biographies and about the world and geography, and that's where I really got my love of history and geography as a result of that, because Mom had instilled the importance of reading and how much you could learn from reading. So this is a way that we can honor her and provide an opportunity for people throughout our community to enjoy reading, and that's the whole idea behind this. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Our family, John and Kim and Pam and Jacob and Katie and Eli and all of us appreciate it very much. And I know Mom would be proud and Dad would be proud today. And just thank you very much, John.
I'd like to thank everyone also for being here today. This is an important day for our family, and as Tom said, Mother really taught us to read and love reading. One of the things that her and Daddy purchased for Tom and I when we were little boys, and a lot of y'all that are our age or near or older know that there were World Book salesmen that would come around to your house, and for Mother and Dad to make that investment when they were younger couples struggling and raising 2 children, that was another reason that I knew how important they thought education was in learning. And we traveled with those books, and we learned about people with those books, and then we read other books, as Tom told us. Mother was a native of Sulphur Springs, born on Houston Street. The house is still there. That was about 88 years ago on January the 22nd. She grew up here. She's a graduate of Sulphur Springs High School. She graduated during the war, during World War II, when it was a hard time on everybody. And she would express to me about how it made them all grow up so fast. That boys that she went to school with, as soon as they'd graduate, they'd go off to Europe to fight. And a couple of her friends didn't come home. And she worked here on the square during that time when the war was going on at the City National Bank. And then my father came home from the service, thank goodness, and they met at the City National Bank and started a love affair that would last over 65 years. And they reared the 2 of us, and Mother was active in the community, a lot to do with literary type things. She was a charter member of the Dial Study Club, which was tied to reading. She was in the Junior Waverly Club and the Senior Waverly Club. And the Senior Waverly Club is actually the group of women that helped get, along with our city, our first Carnegie Library. And what is so interesting about where we stand right now, if you look through the memorial on the other side of the First Baptist Church, that's where the Carnegie Library was. So we can see that from this spot. And then the next library, which is being renovated right now and about to be open as our beautiful City Hall, was the second library that you can look down that street and see that library. And then now we have a wonderful library out on North Davis Street. And my mother got to experience all three of those libraries. Kim and I were in Tyler at her brother's, and we were walking, and there was a little free library in front of a residence. And Kim and I walked up to it, and we thought it was the neatest idea. We saw books, and we both like to read, and we started talking about it. And I came back and I talked to Mark Maxwell, and I told him, I've got something that I want to put on the square. Of course, Mark thought it was a great idea. He thought there'd be something else to enhance the square. And then, unfortunately, my mother passed away, and all of a sudden this became a mission for me to honor her, because I thought about all the things that reading in libraries meant to her. And also, the one thing I didn't mention is she was also the president of the Friends of the Library in the 1970s. And she also taught adult literacy classes. And she told me one day that was one of the hardest things that she had ever done. But she said, if I can teach one person the gift of reading, I feel like I have accomplished a lot. These little free libraries were started in Wisconsin. It was the goal of these two men. The first one that did it in honor of his mother, that was a school teacher, and built the library to look like a little red schoolhouse. And they wanted this to take off. They talked about it. One of them was a marketer. And all of a sudden they made a goal that they would have 2,500 of these, like Andrew Carnegie supported 2,500 libraries across the United States. Over 2.5 years ago, they made that goal already. And now there's in between 10,000 and 12,000 of these libraries in 52 countries around the world, including downtown Manhattan, all of the places that you can think about. And what's really exciting to me is we've already started something here in Sulphur Springs in Hopkins County. Once we dedicate this today, there will be pictures taken of the library, and it will be posted on a site that is worldwide. And then our town will be registered on that site as one of the locations. One more of those little reasons that someone will come to Sulphur Springs. But what's exciting is a group of ladies are already talking about in downtown Brashear of opening a little free library there. So I hope this is the beginning of a lot of little free libraries. Thank you so much for you being here and being here today. And we're going to ask the grandson that's here, and he'll be representing Katie and Jacob, him and Jerry, to come unveil our little library, and you'll see why it fits so wonderful here on the square. The goal here is to have these books, take a book, read a book, return a book. We expect these books to rotate. It'll hold about 15 to 20 books. And the library has graciously put the first set of books. And a lot of y'all have already said something to me about you have a book that you want to put in there. And Tom and I are going to be watching this library when we're at work. And we're going to be making sure that it's never empty. But we appreciate very much any of y'all. When we were putting the books in an hour ago, a man walked up to us and said, "Are y'all doing something with a time capsule?" And I explained to him what we were doing, and he said, "I'm going to go get a book out of my truck and put it in there. Is that all right?" And I said, "Of course it's all right." So he contributed a book to the little library. Tom?
One more thing that we would like to do before we leave. As John and I have talked about, we really believe in the library, and we believe in supporting the library, and we'd like to call Hope Kane up, and we'd like to make a donation to the Friends of the Library. This is on behalf of our mom and our dad and our whole family, and we just wanted to do this in honor of the library and Friends of the Library and all those people that love to read.
Please come look.